What's up, y'all? It's your boy eBay Fight Predictions, and I'm going to be talking about Jan Błachowicz versus Israel Adesanya. This is an awesome fight, UFC 259 pay-per-view main event. This will be the breakdown of this fight. As much as I love this fight, I'm not going to be using clips for this title fight. I will be saving that. Sorry for that little noise. For the Aljamain Sterling versus Peter Yan fight. I am super juiced about that. And I hope you guys go check that out. It will be coming out. But yeah, I don't know. Here's what I gotta say. At the end of the day, this is an awesome fight. I truly believe this fight shouldn't be happening. I feel like Glover Teixeira should be fighting Jan Błachowicz for the light heavyweight belt. But I get it though. Izzy's a star. Jan Błachowicz is in a situation where he's kind of playing placeholder. And I can tell who the UFC wants to win this matchup. But let's get to the stats. Jan Błachowicz is the obviously light heavyweight champion of the world. Comes in with a record of 27-8. Fights out of Poland. Age 38, which is going to play a big factor in this. Height 6'2", and a reach of 78, which is really interesting. Adesanya, obviously the middleweight champion of the world. 20-0. Fights out of Auckland, New Zealand, age 31, height 6'4", and reach of 80. So I actually want to really look at something, and also let me look at the rankings in terms of pound for pound. Adesanya is number 3 on the pound for pound list, and Jan Błachowicz is number 14 on the pound for pound list. I wanted to really look at something about Adesanya's last 5 opponents. He has some really great notable wins over Paulo Costa. Even though I personally felt like Yoel won that fight, he has that on his record. Robert Whittaker, those are 3 great wins, and even Kelvin Gastelum, right? To top it all off. But I really want to see something about the reach, though. So in the fight with Costa, I think Costa had a 72-inch reach, and Adesanya had an 80. Against Yoel, let me see. Yoel had a 73.5-inch reach. Izzy had an 80. Whittaker had a 73.5-inch reach, and Izzy had a 80. And Kelvin had a 71.5. So if you look at, obviously, what I'm trying to make a point is, it's about the reach. And he's obviously had a really long reach advantage. If I look at even Anderson, if we go down to Anderson, a guy he beat, Anderson had a 77.5-inch reach. And Anderson did really good in that fight. I know so many people make excuses for Adesanya, is that, he took it easy on him. I don't know. If you're a fighter, you go in there and compete. I don't think I don't know. Why are you going easy on him? Doesn't really make sense. I get it. I understand he's a fanboy, so of Anderson. So against Brunson, 77. So I will give him credit. Brunson had a 77-inch reach, and he was able to really destroy Brunson in that fight. But it is what it is. And last one, I'll go Marvin Vittori. And Marvin had a 74-inch reach. When I look at guys that did really good against Adesanya, Marvin Vittori, Anderson, and Kelvin come into mind, and obviously Yoel. All those guys had different ranges of reach, but obviously it has to do with skill and not physical attributes. But obviously we talked about Adesanya's notable wins, the reach disparity. But I want to look at Jan Błachowicz on the other hand. You look at Jan in this fight. His last 4 victories over Dominic Reyes, Corey Anderson, Jacare Souza, and Luke Rockhold were amazing. Against Dom, I think there wasn't a big reach disadvantage in here. Actually, Dom had a 77-inch reach, so Dom did have the reach disadvantage, and it looked like Błachowicz had longer arms. You could, if you watch the fight, Against Corey did have a longer reach by 79. But Corey's a grappler. Again, all these guys like Derek Brunson's a grappler. I don't know how much I put into the striking aspect of their reach. Usually it helps them, get double legs. That's how, in terms of the length of their arms. Against Jacare, a guy he had some trouble with and went to a split decision. Jacare. Why is it taking forever? Okay. Jacare had a 72-inch reach and Błachowicz had a 78. Rockhold ended up having a 77-inch reach, which was interesting. In that matchup. Yeah, that was oh man, I felt bad for Rockhold. But against Thiago Santos, let's look. Thiago had a 76-inch reach. So, obviously I've talked so much about Błachowicz and his last few opponents. But, the overall point is this fight is going to be dictated by reach. And that's going to be my overall point in this breakdown is who do I think can utilize their reach the best? Because, obviously, there's a lot of things that go into striking, the feints, the power, the precision, right? But also the reach. And this plays a big factor. Adesanya has been so really good at using his feints and using his reach and using all his attributes to win a fight. His movement, everything has really helped him. Błachowicz, on the other hand, has kind of just been unpredictable when you really think about things. He hasn't really done anything really, really crazy. The thing that he's had really up his sleeve is his awkwardness. The way he threw that, almost like rear hook at Corey Anderson after Corey Anderson threw one of the most naked leg kicks I've ever seen in my life. It was crazy. I don't think Corey thought he was going to get hit in that kind of position like that, and that's why he got hurt. Against Rockhold, the way he threw that hook at Rockhold's chin was very awkward. The way he fought Rockhold was super, super awkward. And against Dominic Reyes, a beautiful, beautiful fight. But even that shot he hit him, super, super awkward. And that's something guys get really tripped out about. But one guy that was able to kind of deal with that was Thiago Santos. He did not. He didn't let Blachowicz awkwardness kind of mess with his flow, and he made Błachowicz come to him, and Błachowicz ended up kind of regretting that and getting caught. And that's something I can see Adesanya replicating. I know a lot of people thought Reyes was going to be able to replicate that. Obviously, I didn't feel that way, but I don't know. It's going to be really, really interesting to see how this fight plays out. I really do want to see who can really win this. But as much as, reach does play a factor in this, here's what I got to say. How will Adesanya, fight Błachowicz? Because he is the bigger guy. And this is something that also has to play is weight, how will he deal with a bigger guy? I know he likes to talk about this and that, but we're not even just talking about size. We're talking about height, and that's something that he doesn't. He's kind of been taller than a lot of the guys he's fought. I think Costa might have been the tallest guy he's fought. Since then, maybe Rob looked kind of lanky, but he hasn't fought guys that are that tall, and Błachowicz is a big guy. He's a big guy, and how will he deal with that? He's obviously talked about how he'll deal with it, like how he's normal, how he normally does it, even though it pains me to listen to some of his interviews, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, if I was to say how can Adesanya really win this fight, is obviously we got to talk about his reach, his jab, and, set traps, right? And I don't know what kind of traps he's going to set for Błachowicz, but similar traps to Thiago Santos. He has thrown that hook where, he whips back, and, he's like, and, he has his chin in the air. But it works for him, against Rob, against Costa. And that's something maybe he can replicate against Jan Błachowicz. I think in the hand department, he's a little better than Jan. The head kicks, I think he's better. Here's what I got to say. I don't think And obviously that's the way I think Adesanya can just pick him apart and get that, like, lead hook, and he gets him out of there. But if we talk about Adesanya's weaknesses, and he has great kicks, he has great body kicks, and he showed great calf kicks, or I would say leg kicks against Costa. But Adesanya, go look at some of his kickboxing fights, especially against his fight against Jason Willis. Adesanya has a really wide stance. And if you go look at how Błachowicz fought Dominic Reyes, one of the things I don't know why I didn't notice this, right? But he was kicking Dom's legs off, and it was wild how he was kicking his legs off. Jason Willis in the Adesanya fight was really good at keeping a high guard. And obviously, this is kickboxing. This is not MMA. And kicking Adesanya's lead leg off. I think that's what Błachowicz is going to do. But for Błachowicz to really win this fight, he's going to have to utilize his size. I think he has to maintain a high guard and chop at those legs. And I know Błachowicz can check some leg kicks. You've seen what he did to Rockhold when Rockhold tried to, play tit for tat with him. He was able to check those leg kicks. But one thing that gets completely unnoticed, the last guy to sub Nikita Krylov was Błachowicz. He choked him the fuck out, and Błachowicz is a legitimate black belt, and he has shown his grappling defensively against Luke Rockhold and Jacare, right? I think Błachowicz needs to have a smart technical fight to win this fight, and he needs to wrestle. He needs to clinch, and he needs to make it his fight, and that's how he gets this done. If he can, add takedowns to his game and make Izzy think and let him know this is not a kickboxing fight, this is not his game, this is not his world, he can really win this fight. And I obviously I can see Izzy winning a third round TKO, but I can also see Błachowicz winning a submission and a knockout. I don't see this fight going to decision. If it does, it's probably going to go to Izzy. But I really do think Błachowicz has a legitimate chance in this, and I'm going to take it. I think Błachowicz is going to get this done. I'm saying, here's the hard part. I don't know how he's going to get it done, but I'm going to go third round submission. I think he knocks Adesanya down, right? And I think he grabs that neck, man. I think he really will get it done. I think Błachowicz has a really good chance in this fight, and why not? I know some people are going to be like, you're an idiot or this or that, but here's what I got to say. At the end of the day, Adesanya is going up to his house, and I don't care what anybody says. No man is going to let another man come to his house and just take his fucking orange juice without doing anything. Błachowicz is going to give a fight. Błachowicz is tough. He's durable, and I got him taking this. I think he's not getting enough respect, from the people. Like, this is a hard fight for Adesanya, stylistically, in terms of threats, this is up there because Jan Błachowicz might not be the best light heavyweight in the world, but he poses a lot. He can pose a lot of questions if he fights a great fight, and we're going to see how Adesanya deals with that. And if Adesanya, like I said, can pick him apart, can check his leg kicks and throw it back. I've seen him do it and throw, kicks at him. Obviously, I think he is the better kicker, the slicker kicker. Obviously, Błachowicz can kick really hard. We saw what he did to Dominic Reyes' body, but he's a little slower. Adesanya will have a speed advantage, and if he can utilize that speed, he'll win the fight. But if Błachowicz can slow it down with the clinching, with the grappling, and just keep it at his pace, like so many people said Dominic Reyes will be too fast for him, he'll outwork him. He couldn't do it because Błachowicz, he sets not only a weird pace, but he just dictates the fight in a weird way. Like, and nobody has, like, it's hard for people to figure out that puzzle. A lot of and when you think about his losses to Alexander Gustafsson, Gustafsson had to grapple in that fight because he didn't want no smoke with Błachowicz. It's very hard to beat him. I think Adesanya is not going to look that good even if he does beat him. Błachowicz is going to be a tough test, and he's going to challenge him. I got Błachowicz third round submission, man. I know some people are going to call me crazy, but I like Błachowicz a lot. He's a fucking killer. He got it done. He got one of my most popular videos on my channel is me reacting to Błachowicz knocking out Reyes. and that was an awesome moment. I think the guy, and the thing about him is that he still has a chip on his shoulder. I know Adesanya likes to think he has a chip on his shoulder, but like Błachowicz has a legitimate, chip on his shoulder because people don't think he's a real champion. They think he's a paper champ. They think he's not John Jones. So, and they think he's a placeholder for Adesanya. They think this is the next step for Adesanya versus Jones. And when this fight happens, and in my humble opinion, when Błachowicz, beats Adesanya, and we wonder like, wow, why do we never get to see Adesanya versus Jones? It's because of that man Błachowicz, because he wasn't going to sit there and let that man take his spot. And that's something people got to realize, Błachowicz isn't here to be somebody's bitch, basically. And that's how I personally feel. But it's a great fight. Hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown. Don't forget to follow me on my Twitter. Don't forget to follow me on my Instagram. If you're new, subscribe to the channel. Like, comment, dislike, if you want. It's your right. I have no problem with that. Tell me if I'm crazy in the comment section. Tell me if you're an Adesanya fan. And I'm the biggest Adesanya hater on the planet. I actually really tried not to be a hater in this video. But at the end of the day, I gotta go. I gotta go. My boy Błachowicz, man. I think he's gonna stop this Adesanya. This Adesanya wave. I'll say that. But yeah, like I was saying, share the video. Go click the notification button. And I love y'all. And goodbye. Your boy eBay Fight Predictions is out.